it was not lost to us at Facebook that the world where majority of online transactions are going to be facilitated by agents on behalf of users was going to be a thing. And in that world, we feel SWE is already well placed. And we recently announced our partnership with Google on AP2, which is an agentic payments framework. We work with a lot of large organizations on that. And SWE uniquely allows you to effectively do a batch of transfers atomically instantly, something no other chain can do. So we're already well placed. We're building a lot of protocols as well around making it easy to buy and sell content in a world where content's being scraped left, right, and center. Without content creators, there'll be no internet. So we're building for that future. The emphasis and the importance of a content world where creators are front and center absolutely still needs to be maintained. And in a world where agentic is going to be the method by which we all interact, you still need to uphold those strong tenets of the internet.
A very good talk with President Xi. A lot of respect for him. Hopefully he has a lot of respect for me too. And we talked about TikTok and other things, but we talked about TikTok and he gave us the go ahead. You know, it's run by American investors and American companies. Great ones, great investors, the biggest. You don't get bigger, I don't imagine.
But the fundamental thing that we wanted to accomplish is that we wanted to keep TikTok operating, but we also wanted to make sure that we protected Americans' data privacy as required by law, both because it's the right thing to do, but also because it's a legal requirement of the law that was passed last year by Congress. So we think that we were able to do that. Of course, we're going to keep on working at it, but this deal really does mean that Americans can use TikTok, but actually use it with more confidence than they had in the past, because their data is going to be secure and it's not going to be used as a propaganda weapon against our fellow citizens. We're very excited about it. We appreciate the cooperation of everybody involved, and it's a big day. The company will be valued around $14 billion. We actually think this is a good deal for investors, but ultimately the investors are going to make the determination about what they want to invest in and what they think is a proper value. The most important thing is that it does protect Americans' data security. It ensures TikTok is still accessible. And on this question of the algorithm, which we've heard this a lot, what this deal ensures is that the American entity and the American investors will actually control the algorithm. We don't want this used as a propaganda tool by any foreign government. We want to make sure that our people and our investors actually make these decisions based on what's good for their business, as opposed to what's good for another government's propaganda arm. So that's what we've done with this deal. I think it's very good for the American people. And as the president said, young people love this. We actually want everybody to access this, whether they're MAGA or not.
We just got a number in terms of valuation, $14 billion for U.S. TikTok. What's your take?
That's massively undervalued. I think Carter said it well, like, how do you buy a blender for a higher market cap? This is crazy. I mean, the number's got to be wrong. It doesn't make any sense. The market cap of Snap is 14. The market cap of Meta, is close to $2 trillion. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. So the only way you could read into that is, are they getting themselves a good deal and they're going to mark it up and it's going to be a huge windfall? But it makes zero sense from what I can see. And I don't have access to all the numbers, but it doesn't make any sense.
He does an amazing job in this country. And we've had tremendous relationships, both having to do with war and having to do with trade. And I guess today we're talking about both. I'd like to have him stop buying any oil from Russia while Russia continues this rampage against Ukraine. And they've been fighting. They've lost millions of lives already. And for what? For what? It's disgraceful. And I said yesterday, let it keep going because their economy is absolutely terrible right now. And I think it's a shame that they're doing that, killing a lot of people unnecessarily. 7,818 people were killed last week, mostly military people, their people and Ukrainians. More Russians, actually, than Ukraine, a little bit more. But it's such a waste of human life. And so he ought to stop. Putin ought to stop. And with that, we'll get to a little bit of a discussion. We're going to make some great trade deals for both countries. We do a lot of business with Turkey.
So again, if we wanted to put pressure on Russia, we have all sorts of ways to do it. And again, the best way to do it is to do more to help Ukraine. What we've got to do is disabuse Vladimir Putin that time is his friend, that if he just hangs in there long enough, he will prevail. So more American help for Ukraine would be the quickest way to affect Putin's calculations.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. AI agents doing your transactions for you. And of course, they're on blockchain and using crypto to make those payments and not a human involved. And all this is being done behind the curtain. And of course, the sheep have no clue because they stay distracted on things that don't matter. And we have TikTok $14 billion valuation. And we have the TikTok deal done. And we know this $14 billion valuation makes a lot of sense. Because remember, TikTok is worth probably about 300 to 400 million. And Oracle and others are going to redo this algorithm. And we know behind the curtain is already done because this is how they're going to control information. They're going to do you just like Google, put you on the 6th page. But it still looks like China is going to own over 50% of this company also. I'm waiting for the details, but that's what it looks like. Even though they're saying ByteDance USA, but that's still China owned. So again, we'll wait for the details, but the way it looks, only 45% will be owned by America. And remember, the Cryptoteacher tells you. Now we have Trump telling Turkey to stop buying Russian oil. And again, we're telling other countries what to do. And we know this is nothing but a buildup for the drums of beating. And eventually, Russia will strike back and China is going to come to their rescue. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And then we have Richard Haas also on Russia. If you have the NWO book, you understand it's the same chess pieces pushing the drums of beating. And then we have the Fed cut rates, but again, we have the bond market reacting. And they're reacting just like I told you. Bonds will go right back up because no one wants this long-term paper. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And in the NWO book, I let you know that crypto would be the savior for these central banks. They're going to be using these robots, algorithms, and drones, of course, on blockchain to replace humanity in the workforce. And they keep coming. Again, we have Starbucks laying off, closing stores, because we know they want you to get that coffee and keep it moving. And eventually, we'll have robots bringing your coffee, your donut, and sandwich to your home. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Well, to me, yields are doing exactly what they should, maybe even not to the extent I thought they would. To me, the yields are going to continue to be firm, especially all durations, all maturities from 7-year on, so 10s, 20s, 30s. I think they're going to be sticky. And the reason I think they're going to be sticky, well, just think about yesterday's 5-year note auction. Didn't go particularly well. As a matter of fact, the auctions have taken just a slight turn south in terms of demand since the Fed lowered rates. That doesn't sound quite logical, but I think the issue here is simple. It's that the market has its own view on interest rates. It has its view on supply that's being issued by some of the big economies of the world. And it's going to continue to price long-dated yields at a rate commensurate with the risks associated with buying in and competing with other countries that have very big and rising deficits. I think that we'll see higher yields, closer to 4.35 before we'll see a test of 4%. All right, here we go, and the data's coming out. Let's see where we're going to begin here. Let's start with the initial jobless claims, shall we? 218,000. Wow, we're expecting a number around 234,000. 218,000, that would be the smallest since the third week of July when it was 217,000. That's definitely going to put a little pop in interest rates. And continuing claims coming in on the light side, still 1.9 million, 1,926,000. and we've been really consolidating right above 1.9 million.
Yeah, Starbucks just filing an 8K that says its board has approved a restructuring plan that will involve the closure of coffee houses and further transformation of the company's support organization as part of its Back to Starbucks strategy under CEO Brian Niccol. The company expects that a majority of store closures are going to be completed by the end of the fiscal year and estimates that it will incur approximately $1 billion related to the store closures, support organization transformation, and other restructuring activities. About 90% of those expenses are going to be attributable to the North America business. So overall company-operated stores in North America will decline by about 1% in fiscal year 2025 after accounting for both openings and closures. The company further expects a significant portion of these charges, again, will be incurred in fiscal 2025. A reminder here, Back to Starbucks strategy, this filing says focuses on revitalizing the coffee houses and enhancing the customer experience. The filing also says the company assessed its existing store portfolio with respect to both whether its coffee houses had a viable path to offering the physical environment that they feel is consistent with the brand and a clear path to financial performance. It's going to close those coffee houses that do not meet the criteria. The company is also working to build a stronger and more resilient Starbucks, it says, and prioritizes investment closer to the coffee house and the customer and further restructuring its support organization. Back over to you guys. You can see the stock is just slightly higher on this news.
Yeah, Kate, it looks like they're laying off 900 more corporate workers as well. They say they're going to plow all that money into improving the cafes. It looks like Niccol's trying to streamline things.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, is time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.